Good afternoon everyone. This is my trusty 2003 map. Don't like sat navs, they send you up the wall and into the river. English countryside, Derbyshire. Would you like to go? Let's go. Okay, so there's a map of England. I live here in Manchester. There's London. So we're north of England and we're going east. In detail, there's Manchester. And we're going over here to this big green area, which is the Peak District in Derbyshire, and a place called Castleton. Peveril Castle in the Peak District, in Castleton in Derbyshire to be precise. About 900 years old. I think they dated it to between 1066 and 1086. So yeah, roughly about 900 years old, give or take of 20 or 30 years. So it was built for or by a guy called William of Peveril, and he followed William the Conqueror, and as a reward he was allowed to have this castle. Which is quite odd really, considering that he must have been a traitor in the time, because William the Conqueror was an invader, and if he was loyal to him and got rewarded with a castle, wonder what that's all about. Anyway, I think his son, apparently it says his son inherited the castle, but then it was taken off him because his son sided with the wrong side in the English Civil War, so the king took him back off him. It was Henry II that took it off him. Then it fell into ruin, and then I think the crown took it back later on. But it's worth coming up here because the views are absolutely fantastic. That hill there, that big dramatic thing there, is called Mam Tor, M-A-M-T-O-R, and it means Mother Hill, and it's called that for obviously reasons that it's the sort of like the biggest hill, and all the other little hills are the little hills, and that's the Mother Hill. And we're going to go near there. We can't go up there, but we're going to go near there, and sometimes I think when the weather's a bit better they hang glide off that. But yeah, this is the view from Peveril Castle, just utterly stunning, and that is the Hope Valley, that. So if you want some English countryside, or you're prepared to leave London, well worth a visit. So I'm just walking in what would have been the castle grounds, and in a minute we're going to go into this. I'm going to take you in there and see what it's all about. I'm out of breath because it's just all hills here. So into the castle. Are you scared? I am. Whoa, look at that. It's fantastic. So we're inside the keep, and there's loads of little nooks and crannies, as you can see. Oh, look where this goes. Lots of little nooks and crannies, and I think there would have been wood across these walls here. So you see where the slots are in there. There used to be wooden planks that would have gone across and formed a floor, probably just above that bit there, above that arch. But it's difficult to make out what it was like, but there is a picture here. I'll show you, see if it works out on the camera. It was something like that, and that's what it was like inside. And you can see there's like some rafters there in a ceiling, a roof, and I presume that's would have been there. But yeah, unbelievable. Right, so we're going to go and explore this. So I'll turn the camera facing forwards and we'll go down here. There's the view, down the steps. Now that obviously is the stairway to nowhere, but this down here goes somewhere. these stairs probably would have been redone, because I bet after years and years and years of being trodden, they would have been sort of like really rounded. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, we're in the bottom of the keep. Right, that's where we are. So and there's a little viewing place where we was before. The thing that I don't understand the most about this place is these things in the wall. This. I don't understand why those holes are there, or what has been there, or what this was. And the way there's like a deep groove in the stone there. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure somebody could tell me. Leave a comment down below. So Peveril Castle, well worth a visit. I think it was £5 to come up here. Thing is, it's very steep, so if you come up with anyone with kids, or if you come up with anyone in a wheelchair or anything like that, it will be very, very difficult to get up here. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it, because the path is like really steep and windy, and the path has steps in. So unfortunately, if you are disabled in any way, it's pretty inaccessible. Other than that, it's well worth a visit, and you can see behind me the views, and couple those views with that, and it's well worth a visit for £5 anyway. And you could spend a day here if you wanted to have a picnic up here. So that up there, that dark peak behind me, that's Mam Tor, and we're going to explore the old road that used to go that way. So whenever you're leaving Manchester and you're heading towards the Pennines, whether that's Oldham or whether it's East Manchester sort of way, sort of Glossop way, you always see these signs up. And I'm going back to when I was a kid now, and they were wooden boards, and they'd say on them, Snake Pass, Woodhead Pass, Mam Tor. And there were lights at the side of it, and if the roads were closed, the lights would flash to tell you the road was closed. I remember being with my dad once, and it said Snake Pass open, Woodhead Pass open, and Mam Tor was always closed. Every time we came up over to the east side of Manchester, the Mam Tor road was always closed. I remember saying to my dad, why is Mam Tor always closed, Dad? Why is that road always closed? And he said to me, it collapsed. That's the road that collapsed. It fell down the hillside. So of course, as a kid, you're like, wow, why did it fall down the hillside? Well, anyway, we're here. This is the Mam Tor road, as I've said, and we're going to go up there now, and we're going to look at the road that collapsed. And it's been closed 30 odd years. It closed in 1979. So we're going to walk up there now and just have a look at, see where the road sort of, how far it goes and where the road ends and how it collapsed. What gets me is the white line in the middle of the road that's still there. Now we've come here, and it just basically turns into a track. Now I'm going to try and find pictures for the video that show that when this was a full-on main road with cars and wagons going over it. That was back in before 1979. Right, we'll come to the good bit. Nowhere does this section best demonstrate how the road collapsed completely. Look at this. We are literally going towards the edge. And that's it. There's no more road. It's ran out. Now, what was the problem? The problem apparently is that this whole area is shale, and apparently when you get really periods of a lot of wet weather and everything, it just slides. The rock just gets wet and slides, and they've repaired the road numerous times. I'm just reading here now. They repaired the road in 1912, 1933, 1946, 1952, 1966, and finally I think there was a massive slip again in 1974, and in 1977 we had a really dry summer in Britain in 1976, and then we had a really wet summer in 1977, and there was a massive slip then. The Mam Tor section of the road was abandoned in 1979. Hereafter, traffic was routed through Winnett's Pass, which is where I'm going to show you, or I've showed you. And there you go, there's the problem. The problem is the road was built on shale, and it went through years and years of being repaired. But this is all that's left. So you can see what they're up against, all those repairs I was telling you about over all those years. You can see here now the layers. like layers of tarmac there, one there, one there, one there, and then they've put a bit of hardcore in there, and then there's another layer there underneath that hardcore. So it's quite incredible. You can see all the failed attempts at trying to repair the road, and it just kept slipping and slipping. And there you can see, this is what they were up against. It has just literally, the road has just literally slipped down the hill. So you can see why in 1979 they just gave it up and closed the road. And that's why when I asked my dad, why is Mam Tor always closed? This is why, because the road just slipped down the hill. Okay, so I'm on my way home from Castleton, Derbyshire now. This is the Ladybower Reservoir at the end of the Snake Pass, which is one of the roads that goes from Manchester over to Sheffield. Interesting fact for you, this reservoir here, you see, in the Second World War, they used this reservoir, the Air Force used this reservoir to practice runs for the bouncing bomb. If you've seen the film The Dam Busters, they wanted to bomb a dam in Germany, a dam that dammed the Ruhr Valley. When they blew that dam up, all the water went over, flooded the Ruhr Valley, major industrial area in Germany. The British wanted to bomb that, and they had to develop a bomb that bounced along the water to hit the dam. And they practiced here at the Ladybower Reservoir. I don't know where they flew in from, whether they flew from down there or whether they flew from sort of that way, but this is where they practiced. Interesting fact for you. There you go. Don't say I never tell you nothing.
Everything, everything, everything I touch will break. And every day, every day, every day you give and I take. I'm living the best that I can, but fate never followed my plans. I'm holding you back, so I want you to pack up and grow.